Officer, what happened? You're limping. Why are you limping? You look terrible.
You're not limping. You're you. She sounds almost disappointed with you, reprimanding you for falling and hurting your knee.
Look at you can barely walk. Doesn't look like nothing. Looks like you've got banged up real good. What happened to you anyway? We heard gunshots from the town.
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guilhem. It's nothing to be worried about.
You didn't only get shot.
Well, good for you. Of course. Can I help you with something? That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead. Used to be some kind of fortification there before the war. For the communards. An anti-aircraft gun, I think, bombed to bits in the landing. I haven't been there myself. Always steered clear of it.
Hasn't been there herself. Who has then?
My husband used to drink there. Him and his drinking buddies. Always seemed like a bad place to drink to me. People died there during the landing, you know. My mother told me.
This must be one of the many fortifications that was used in the dying days of the revolution against coalition forces before they took this city.
The kids sometimes go there too. I know they do, on rafts. I tell them not to, but they bring back old bullet casings and the twins. God forbid they bring the girl along on some rickety barge.
Can we maybe ask your twins about that place before we go?
Be my guest. They've a strange way of talking. See if you can get anything useful out of them. I seldom do. I'm sad to hear that. Take care of that with Ether, will you? Don't get too many RCM men round here.
That's cool. You boasting your bacterial infection like that.
If you promise to bring it back, and no scraping the hull, I just got it nice and yellow, and no drinking on the boat, and no joyriding either.
Of course, ma'am. It's only for a day or two. Official police business.
Aye.
The crow's feet disappear from the corners of her eyes as she smiles at you.
Well, most of it's sunken. Underwater. That means concrete underwater. Cut your boat if you're not careful. Be sure to enter from the south side. Water's deep there.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's a small tank.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do.
And that iron. That's, nothing. It's just a seafort and some plants. You can take a raft there. And we make a fire. We make a fire. Mm-hmm. Gather the sticks for the fire. And bullets. Or not real bullets, empty bullets.
Bullet shells. There are a lot of them left over from the war. But
I don't know what these are. They're lights. The fire guy comes and asks us to put the fire out.
your nerve endings sting from the mention of a guy. They must mean a human being on that island.
No. Yes.
Let's go with yes.
Because he asks to put the fire out. I don't know. He doesn't like it. Yes.
Because he doesn't want to be found.
I don't know.
Did you mean there are electrical lights?
Yes. No, he doesn't live there. I don't think. No, he lives there. Been there twice, 2 times. He doesn't live there. He isn't there sometimes.
Anything else?
I don't know. We ran. He just yelled we shouldn't be there. Our father killed himself. Don't say that, he didn't.
A dull pain flashes through your mind.
I don't know. Doesn't even have anything to do with this, you. Father isn't the fire guy.
The two things are unconnected. Your question didn't make sense.
There's a...
Lights, fire guy. We should check up on that island.
A skiff with a small steering engine. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle, and you're off into the bay. A strange trepidation comes over you. Are you sure you want to go now? Have you made all the necessary preparations? Closed all your accounts? Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever. Eternally. Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever. Eternally. Disco. Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever. Want to be free. Eternally.
boat comes to a slow stop. In the silence, a sputter of wings. There is very little wind here today. The ghost is standing still.
Let's go.
The dry grass crackles under your feet as you stop. Far away, birds' wings touch the still. The flock of quail departs. On the islet, there is almost no wind, like a silent orchestra of great importance to a silent hiss, the faraway roar of the city, a low hum. The air slowly moves through. Air flows out of a pillbox window. A jitter, a sound impatient to happen, but not yet in.
Yes?
This is where a lesser man would stop to think about the pain shooting.
It is. Is that why we are stopping?
The lieutenant nods in silence. ICM? This feels familiar somehow.
Insolent Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the Communards Army.
Sounds an awful lot like.
It does. The RCM may descend from the ICM. It's impossible to say. It was
Nice political thoughts rush. A mediocre athlete would pant from dragging around his body on a busted crutch. But not you. You're thinking,
There were all sorts of groups and groupuscules back then. It doesn't really matter. No, an upside-down star.
with its horns in the sky.
No, that's
A DeLorean-era symbol of insolence.
after 44 years? That's not nearly enough to hide what happened here, Lieutenant Gefreiter. One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The city is full of things like this. Old bullets, guns, fuel.
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel, checking for warmth.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wire downstairs, somewhere? Liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazout, the kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves. It's been a long winter, long and cold.
If anyone stayed here, they'd need a generator. A hollow ring, the canister is empty. Dust falls from the generator and down into the ammo lift.
I don't know. I'm not a philosopher.
That is his idea of a joke. A small agony. Minuscule bones may have fractured, but it proves the point. He nods approvingly. He even smiles.
Someone with basic electrical skills has restored it in order to keep the room warm. Maybe it's the fire guy.
The wind outside picks up suddenly with a faint howl. There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on piles of soft cover books. White linen and a pillow are visible under a worn-out caracal blanket.
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed.
You force the rest of the sentence out through pain.
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead. Yes, anytime. If you need a rest later, it's okay by me.
You don't have to be a hero. Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized. Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. Popular depictions of man versus nature by amateur naturalists T&T Harpin, husband and wife. Widely read by people from all walks of life. Who doesn't like nature? Who among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories, you find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering. Then it's back to pulp. Light erotica, an international thriller about circuit benders.
Someone's made themselves a home.
Not that you can tell. This is a digest of someone who's dead bored. Most of it is for entertainment purposes. Maybe it's a little old-fashioned. The print in some of these is pretty small, though. Some kind of superstar. They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with You see a small metal door nested inside a larger one.
Another part of the island, probably. The lock looks like it could still be usable. Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open?
He's right. It would be better to open its big brother. A powerful engine hangs under the ceiling. It must control the blast door.
I think there's a console just southeast. Let's look around. Getting
Green paint flecks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard. The keys rattle like teeth. This keyboard hasn't been functional in decades.
the console of an antique computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out, they terminate here. Possibly. Urgence, ouvert, allumé, radiodiffusé. It sounds like this device was used to control the electronics here. Maybe it still does.
This device was used to control the electronics in the room. It could open doors, control lights. Nothing happens. The dial slides under the glass. An idea lights up in your head.
This is an air-gapped system. Of air, I think they call it. That won't work. No, I'm not. But it would not be very good military technology if programmer ladies could control it remotely. Also, it's ancient, incompatible. We need to restore power before using this, officer. The generator, it didn't look like there was fuel in it. We should look around outside. There are barrels all over.
The boat engine.
My kinema. I don't want to do that.
The consul stands by, mutely. There's a rain-soaked mattress on
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from.
a single-person mattress, modern, civilian use, brand name, Marjorie, and an empty can of beans on the ground next to it. The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Tio Moteri.
I may have been wrong when I said it wasn't important. This means the same person could have visited both locations. I didn't see any signs of smoking inside though. If people live there, they keep it tidy. This here may also be a smoking spot.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window. Quite old and grimy from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain. The springs screech as you lean on the mattress. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you. A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. The red chimney and collapsed back of the four-story tenement in front of the box-shaped silhouette of the whirling in rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop. Sun.
What does that mean? Do you have line of sight to the window?
More than that.
I can see it. Through the scope of a rifle. The shooter would be prone, lying on the mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure.
Cheek against the cheek rest, hand on the hair trigger, on a calm day like this.
Good. I think we have it, Detective. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Affirmative.
In our defense, nothing pointed here. Many leads pointed elsewhere. Don't beat yourself up, officer. We did not put guns in their hands or get them drunk.
The lieutenant pauses. Regret comes over him.
We will make up for it. Here. I feel it. Where?
He does not answer, just nods. With his back hunched, he looks around once more and says he feels uncomfortable suddenly.
We should move now.
A strange feeling, looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off into the sea. Leave it all, and with a bottle in your hand. In the still mirror of the bay, you see Martinez, reflected. Tall edifices of ruins reach into the water, like shimmering towers. And the shacks too. Pine trees and motor lorries, upside down. Islets and posts, like stepping stones, lead into the water in front of you. Go. Always. Perhaps there's someone there, under the water, waiting for you, where it has always been. In front of the video rental, on the corner, smelling of tutti frutti. Maybe. You know it's going to hurt. Yes, cold and still. But love is warm. Like the inside. Oh, fuck, yes. No, we're not starting with that. Not now. This old cylindrical generator waits with its fuel. The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse.
That should do it.
A dim golden glow animates the console. Faint, like a ghost.
It's on. Turn emergency open.
Automatic boot. The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in. A sudden wave of anxiety makes your skin crawl. No, it's more than that. There's something there, waiting.
After you. I don't know.
A thin wisp of smoke rises from a charred black fire.
Don't be. I have a gun. I know. It was not easy to acquire.
An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him, unclouded by cataracts. His eyesight is sharp.
The what now? I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to give up the position.
The position?
Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up. My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
A shudder of disgust passes his right side. His left side remains motionless.
I did. And you opened it. I should have burned that console down. The boat engine. On the water. It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done. It's a Triangong.
Southeast Samaran made. Exotic. Must be defunct too. No modern rifle manufacturer of that name springs to mind.
A Samaran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk, white from the ball.
He's right. Almost no one remembers there was a third metastasis of the world revolution in the Safre Empire.
They wouldn't like hearing their name in your mouth. Damn dog.
The lieutenant pulls his pistol from the holster.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander.
His elbows rest on the frame stock, calmly for now. But he may still get it in his hands. Looks like he knows the weapon. It's a good line, but your voice slips on, Commander. An old man, then unclouded by cataracts.
The what? I may.
The
Fire guy. My eye.
a shudder of disgust.
I should have. The boat engine. It's not. It's a
Southeast.
A Samaran rifle.
It was sent to a.
It has stayed true to him. He's right.
They wouldn't like hearing their name in your mouth. Damn dog.
The lieutenant, his elbows rest on the front. The words, I am an enemy commander, sound cold as iron from your lungs.
And what rank would that be? A big wheel of the 4th Regiment of the Pederast Army. It's out of bullets.
Like an amputated limb in the sand, he stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound. A strange sadness, like a...
The future teaches you to be alone.
The present.
The present to be afraid and cold. Real music.
Marching song. Forget about that for a moment. You need to address that remark first.
There you go. 1 of 3. In Grad, they sang Brave Children.
In Sinyao, they sang Boy with a Scythe, Golden Sun.
I fucking know what they sang. I watched those little fuckers die in my arms. Little ones came to help us. You don't fucking tell me what they sang.
His nostrils are still flaring with rage. He brings himself back under his own stewardship.
How did it go? Something about shooting rabbits.
He waves erratically with his... It was dear to him. So, if I could shoot rabbits, then I could shoot fascists too. Those are the...
What are you talking about?
He doesn't recognize it. Embers going out. His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your... Still warm from his parched hands. Not the metal. The metal is ice cold. This weapon has been modified several times. The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. They say Triangong 4.46, Sin Yao Commune, for Safre and for all mankind. This is the Vulgate Seraillese. You can barely intuit the words. No is stretching it.
What does it say?
That's what the little guys told us. Those men were commandos. They weren't shit on a stick like us. They were small and...
On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangong 4.
Worn. Personalized even.
No response from the old man.
Jacketed. Military-grade ammunition. Stable in flight. Good for hitting something that's very, very far away.
As he speaks, he stresses every word.
I wonder how old it is.
The old man does not answer. The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. Some kind of involuntary response. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession.
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
The Commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? You're a holdover from the...
From the Insular Indian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the Commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
No. I've been on other islands, too. I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was on E48. 43 years and 10 months. It's not how a human being should live. But I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
He just couldn't. He nods. But he can now.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Street lights will soon be lit. Further inland, the streets are alive with workers.
Always waiting. For her to return.
Her who?
Girl, child, revolution. I am not a fool. I know the material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It's not an island, Dwat. It's a defensive fortification of the Commune of Revachol. The congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02. retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing. Against the whole world. Coalition death blow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone. Sure you are. You're RCM. Answer me. Who calls an operation against 50 million people death blow? Iblis. The black-eyed angel. I was just 16 years old. 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat. And a second is all it took for reaction to take hold. Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all men. It's the same thing. You haven't seen it. Not really. Not naked. It's impossible.
And this was when?
He is still not convinced of his safety. You should not be either.
May the 13th, 08. 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky and it looked like it formed the clouds. Storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic. The combined might of international capital. All at once, all the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower, huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room.
A terrible shame, still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and smallness of what he became.
No. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers there, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened of the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring. Airships. I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too, shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality.
Some kind of great terror. Worse than you.
The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. That the bourgeois are not human.
Now is not the time, Lieutenant Jeffreter.
I had to fight it. I could not stop anymore. How does anyone survive? Supplies, vegetables, collect rainwater.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stew, too.
He does seem frail. Good for his age. More like 75 than 65.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
You also have Druamine.
I have been running out of that stuff.
There's no way he could manage.
It's the little joys. The dark joke. There's nothing to look over. The triage is in. I have 'em. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of... I don't even know what. Inferno? At least you know it. It's disgusting.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
It was hard in the tens. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those
There were posts
weak communards and other at night,
in the city.
from bunker to bunker. I don't want...
He does not want to see.
So you finally found it. Useless.
So you've been there.
Sleeping.
You feel the dots connect. Wait, how did he get down there?
I didn't have to. Came in through the storm drains.
Storm drains?
There used to be a system that connected the bunkers, tunnels and such, under the church and everywhere. Most of the propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. A lot of our boys did. I do. They're good. Plenty of tar. I like that.
The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
You're with the RCM. The coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois murderers. Take me to them as a prisoner.
A spray of blood for Rene, the royalist.
Liberal reactionary son.
Is that part of why you've...
He just wipes the blood from his chin.
You're insane. No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army. Train in it.
The old man,
His job was...
Scientific.
awakened from shutdown by the... He nods slowly. Then another...
No, you're not. You're part of the meat shield. The human shield that surrounds the fascist.
Detective, we have come to ask questions.
The old man's... There's definitely something off with...
There's nothing serious in this world. I've used it.
Here we go.
Killing people.
I've used it.
Interesting.
There is no...
So he's continued killing. This is it. You can feel it. This is what you... The great serotonin jackpot. the solution. Go in straight. No euphemisms. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first.
What did I just say?
What did I just tell you? Don't drop the ball now.
I don't want to tell you anything, you grotesque murderer. The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again.
Oh yes, that one.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the
Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on the gun. The scent of blood in the air. Something about the tracks. Suddenly, all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead.
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. You've been here a long time, Mr. Dras. Too long. You clearly need me.
I'm ready to die.
He's practically admitted just one thing remains unclear.
Forget about your stupid fucking scope.
He lost it. He just doesn't know where it is. Forget it. Push on.
You're sad for your fascia brother, aren't you?
Not a lot of guns.
It's a real gun. You look...
Damn. He would have a good... So he saw you. Okay. So
You didn't handle anything. I watched... None of those people mean anything to you.
you're getting diverted.
So you watched the fight. Did you like what you saw? The mayhem. It was all your doing. Your plan. You got them.
You don't know anything.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. 4.46 jacketed them good. This feels good, doesn't it?
Murder. Stupid dwat.
The lieutenant looks at you with not this, he seems to say. Anything but this.
Intuition isn't your brain.
He does not answer, but still, somehow you knew it was a communist. Perhaps you suspected it before the vision was you remembering that. Was it supposed to? The inland sea is dark. No, you are.
Standing there, slack-jawed, brain festering.
Wait, here it comes. The god. There were Maybells in the grass when you... Nowhere else. Wait, don't forget. You got it. Maybe don't beat yourself anymore, though. You're...
Damn Maybells.
He seems tender suddenly.
So many this year, too. Class year.
He knows her, but hadn't heard the name.
My ears don't reach the city. With the victim.
There is a small tremble. Looks like a smile. Don't leave any loose ends. Get him on every...
Everything is brands with you in
Show me the souls, please, Mr.
fucking imbecile.
The maker is called Sense. These are not the unusual horizontal.
The size fits, but not the soul.
Sire, he doesn't have to be wearing them.
Racking those brains, are you?
The lieutenant gives you a quick suck. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from flickering, looking for something. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silent suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of wind. Seagulls in the distance.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. Beating us to the ground. Moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast. Got your attention. Now you stop eating druggies and prostitutes in your basement.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in...
The lieutenant raises his right. Hush. He does not need to be pushed anymore. The ball is rolling, while the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them, in phase, and I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did.
There, a hot flash of rage almost...
Nothing. I went to sleep, and so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you...
Yes.
And you were looking at them? The victim and a young woman having sex? Through the scope of your...
The old...
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
The motive.
I don't understand. Do you...
I'm always looking.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle?
A rifle's...
Helps him see all...
And if you don't like it,
Click.
then you pull the trigger?
Yes.
He will not stop now. You got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift.
Them fucking jealousy is a reactionary, and I wanted to see his headache. That's all it takes.
The caliber of bullet he used does not do that kind of damage.
There's nothing to hold on to.
The coals of his eyes glisten.
Man needs to feel something else. And this, yes, over the years, it's not unproletarian to no. I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying the day after I killed him. Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do anymore. Maybe I told you.
A sudden pang
If you came 10 years ago,
in the silence. One more down.
since you came to my
Past the fell building on the coast.
hiding something in the water.
And beautiful.
That, too.
How could you see what...
The sun came up. Her passport.
In the free state.
Yes, after she...
Sloppy. We should have gotten her to tell us about this.
No, I put them back. Why would I take them? I'm not going to phone. No. I did. She had a face like an archipelago. I could see who she was.
You could tell she was a spook?
She had different color.
He's setting it up for you. The bruises.
You can't see bruises through a scope. It's just a blur.
It quickly comes to you.
Oh, yes. Cutting those drugs of hers into little...
Everything in him fills with impossible long.
Did you make that hole?
with a clip-point knife.
Good for listening in, too. For hearing the moaning and the snorts.
Like that, too. Yes. Bending like a bow against the glass. I've been through all of Martinez. Yes, that, too. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out.
Those two took the cake. You hear the familiar scribble of the loop. One more loose end.
How did you get in there? The hidden pin.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash.
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope.
One more thing. The flowers, Mr.
What about them?
There. He's already admitted to it. Just ask.
I did. I shouldn't have. It was a mistake. I was there one night, and she was crying. Like a child, the day after I killed him. Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do anymore.
Neither does he in the silence. One more down.
Her.
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement. That's it.
Where is she, that Clasier? I haven't seen her there for days. Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the scope this last week at the island, like she knew. She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof, staring right into me. It doesn't matter.
Midtown, across the Bay of Revachol. On the platform, a young woman is with smaller, distant. He knew she knows.
We could get more. We've got him talking.
Who knows what he's seen and done? Enough. Take him in. Bend his arms behind his back and end this. For a 60-year-old man, he's clearly a drug user of the painkiller sort.
A tragic comet.
A strange little engine seems to... The familiar put, put, put of hatred.
Specifically, the whole... Because of the pump. Yes. The fly. Not since the... Intense. Like animal. The worst of the worst. Every morning he's there. That's all the rich really want. We did...
The disco, there was something. And the Sucrian? Boom boom morons on thin ice.
Horse. Syphilis is a disease. The bacteria.
That is...
And he's still... What a keen remark. Forgot some...
Wait. The bullet hole in it had to be. He's already proven capable of...
I did.
Yes, shameful.
The fat unit.
He keeps having
Another.
disappointment.
That deformed toad.
Edgar.
First against...
The Clares would...
Of course. Maybe the clears.
I haven't a...
How did he know you?
He didn't just step. I was right about 20.
That's around it.
Edgar did never trust a social democrat.
They let him be here. Understanding was a curse.
You know why I killed that fucker, Dwat.
Again?
Try teaching him some Marzovian socioeconomic.
Okay, he didn't do the hanged man for them. But there is more here. You can feel it. He was not outright lying, but almost. The connection comes to you like a... He acknowledges it.
That bourgeois cow. Tiffin Holly was her name. Licked the rich man's hand every time he came to town. And money.
Bordering on sentimentality, it drips out of him, tempered by something familiar to you.
She was. And she was real soft on those money men. Had her called in, they say. On the eve of battle.
No, that's not quite it.
Did she? They say her daughter called in, not her personally. But that...
No. I guess it was not. She couldn't make the call herself.
Here it is. The truth.
Because she was dead.
Just say nothing.
The cow caught a bullet in her right lung. Fell into the canal grasping her tit and drowned. Oh, but she was going home, waddling, dressed in yellow, drunk like she often was. The ruins were black around her, and she had a yellow leather bag under her arm, heading home to Grand Couronne or Betancourt, someplace like that, where they build those new bâtiments for the people who flourish in the hell around her. Someone shot her, or maybe the cow just fell.
Another big spike of rage.
Nothing changed. Not in the material base, not in the hegemony. There was no uprising. Just words. The Union fizzled.
Edgar didn't keep his part of the deal. If you were to testify to this, give the RCM something on Edgar, you could walk. We would strike everything you've done and process you as a POW. You were in a war. You were on assignment.
A degenerate worker state. Go shit. No, thank you. I'm Revacholian. My day, I saw it happen, and everyone is a blobber in this world. Everyone betrays everyone. They're all already locked up.
The same old freezing hatred. There is plenty here to work with once he's in custody, and the lieutenant knows it. He gives you a little nod to proceed.
They were boom, boom.
Oh, there's plenty to say, hardcore.
I don't think now is the time for it.
To no avail.
Beats. Violent bourgeois language. A sucrion, a bloodsucker. Women like her feed on the life energy of I can't believe.
If only he had the ammunition.
Every fucking morning, royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack, across the water each day. I remember him, that one.
There doesn't seem to be a single person under the pine today. Not even Gaston.
Fat and plump, like a pheasant. Just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Dross, shoot me.
He whispers with such predatory hunger. It bored me.
Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face.
A treat. Better served for later. He's a pleasure delayer.
He is a juicy bonbon better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one. For him. Haven't seen him around lately, strutting around. Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell. No. I waited too long. I waited too long and now he's dead?
I'm sorry, Mr. Dross. I understand you knew him for a long time.
They're all dead now. Fuck it.
If he really wanted to kill him so bad, he would have done. There must have been 1,000 black days on these islands. His health ailing.
All human beings care about each other. I cared for seeing his head, and I blew them all. What does it matter now? He's gone. You think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do. Fuck and die.
He's not okay. This is just another black day in a row of black days.
Glad we talked about what?
His lip curls into a sneer.
Glad we talked about what? What? But you said I would be taken to the...
The sum of all the erratic movements. Fidget. The wind picks up.
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand?
But... No, I don't want to. I have...
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead. Pupils are dilated too.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now onto the boat.
There it is again, to your north, as it has been since you came to the coast. Something completely different. It sounds like a bow.
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat. What?
What are you talking about? Is this... really us?
Your skin crawls. A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
What are you talking about? There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand move to your holster to grab the gun.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. If you can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence. Its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch. Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. Sweat drips from your brow. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is...
Okay.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera.
In 3.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The phasmid freezes in its bright light. The sweat on your arms feels cold as ice.
I got it.
The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. Warning! It's about to move. You can sense it. A sudden shiver passes the limb. Looks like the creature is awakening. Some sort of countdown process is happening. That's all you have time to think. Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you.
Maybe it is real, the pheromone.
About now, he is ready to believe in anything. The insect's head is crowned with reed-like scales, the shape of seed heads. They rustle as the air moves. Breathing you in, your sour, greasy semiochemicals on the breeze. No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth. You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The insect stops its. Suddenly, no, stop. Be afraid. The invertebrate comes back to life, stridulating. Sets of complex.
I exist. Tell me what it's like for you. Then I will tell you what it's like for me. Yes, holy is the Lord of hosts. Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images. A kind of darkness, shapes of plants and animals. I am at the end of a narrow funnel. Weightless. So light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. Are you sure? Sometimes, when molting, I will grow a lost limb. One time something went wrong, and a small leg replaced a missing antenna. No, the leg tried to move around independently, making it hard to walk. Yes, thankfully someone ate it. The next time I molded, I grew an antenna again. So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect? Yes, no one detected me for such a long, long time. For thousands of years. No one believed I exist. Almost no one. Until you came, detective. No, you're awake. I am real. Not even the birds know that. Not even a water lily. You can also eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth.
Wait, so.
Yes, they don't mind. Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter. I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmodia, endemic to the Insulandian Isle.
It may have unknown, dangerous biochemical characteristics that help it maintain its camouflage.
No one unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and the officials of the occupation. Even the Samanese islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions. Yes, I do not have a starter display, so I use a neurodegenerative element to aid in camouflage. Do not worry, it is only destructive over long periods of time.
The deserter. He's been here for a long time.
No, you are the miracle. The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while you are extreme, all-engulfing madness. The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all. It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. It's as you're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars. We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust.
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if you misplace us all one day, or just forget? No, you're only thinking it now. This is a revelation. So, it is already happening. One day, one of you will close your eyes and sign, and open them to see that.
It doesn't look like that, no. You're just staring at it. Okay. Is it somehow related to the case? I think you should back away from the unstudied species now.
No, there is one more. Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. You cannot lie to me. Behind you, it smells of fires. So awfully far you were prepared to go in her presence. And she was middle class. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface. And just like that, it's gone. And something under it, in the place it stood.
It's gone. Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look. Apparently, yes, like a water strider. Only, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
What now?
In some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
What is it? What do you want from me?
Something is very wrong with him now.
See?
Mr. Doras?
The man does not respond, like an addict of some terrible substance. A light shiver passes him.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation.
The trembling mouth.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Nothing. The last embers have gone.
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the ebb would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the...
I lost.
He turns his eyes to the reeds again.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie phasmid. This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle?
Silence. You've gotten all you will out of this poor. The plastic cape flaps around. The blacks of his eyes are receding. The strength has all gone out of him. Just
Old age and shock. Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you? Told you? Yes, good. During your long staring match, I understand. That could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here.
No response.
Then how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks? Mm-hmm. Mr. Dross, have you ever seen a stick insect? The doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse. He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him, like he didn't want to leave this place, and the insect maybe. I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo.
No one would believe you without it.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here.
Soft covers. The skiff is... The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island
Ah, yes. So for bringing munitions
as a defensive...
from enemies. Enemies.
The skiff is...
We are done here.
The skiff rocks gently under your butt for the sound of conversation on the... Two men and a woman stand on the concrete square of a nameless... You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Look what the tide brought in. I want to call you a teapot, but I'm honestly kind of impressed. No idea where you got all that gear, but there's no doubt in my mind that some bad people are looking for it. Also, you look like a fucking idiot.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen. This is the man with sunglasses from the Whirling in Rags. But
That's right. And you're some kind of murder machine. Oh, really? They don't seem bothered by it? That's because you're a cop in an exoskeleton. Actually, are you? Are you still a cop? There's so much disco going on, it's hard to tell.
Vic, calm down.
We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Comar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heilerstam, Patrol Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Prison 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us.
the scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify your actions.
We might need your help with something later.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
Ari, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact,
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
Shit kid. What an interesting moniker.
You, shit kid?
Maybe you've deserved it.
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went. Strange. He didn't mention that. In fact, the establishment didn't look safe at all. There was a giant IO graffito in front of the building. It was on fire. I don't know. It had shit kid written all over it. Guilty as charged. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true. And it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to rely on.
He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was.
I'm clinically depressed, Harry. Sorry if I wasn't in the mood to batter you up after you told us to fuck off. Did you? Or did you think I was a goddamn firefighter? We've been partners for how long, Harry? Don't answer that. You don't remember.
Absolutely no idea. 100 years?
Lieutenant, my name is not Horse-Faced Woman. It's Judith Minot. I was assigned to your unit 2 months ago. I thought we were friends. Okay, because you're my commanding officer, I really want to respect you. I want us to have a normal relationship.
That will never happen, Jude. He's the rudest man on earth. He's the reason why the rest of us have to take sensitivity training.
yes, I'm Trant Heilestam. I never said I wasn't Trant Heilestam. Mikhail? Mikhail's my son.
His son? What a joke. Everyone is lying to you.
No, I was just interested in the Feld building and the Martinez beachhead. And Mikhail wanted to see Martinez. It was a coincidence. What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s. Like,
He's here to see if you're insane. He's smart. Let's move on. Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't be duped so easily.
Yes, I'm still Kim Kisuragi, still a lieutenant from Precinct 57.
Still caught up in this crossfire, too.
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells? Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude,
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Oh, fuck you. Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Tron because I'm forcing him to stay.
Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde and partial to sunglasses?
See? There. He's getting it. I was impersonating him. Look at me, I'm G. Bevy. It was going to be funny, but then you really did have brain damage. So not so much anymore.
He sincerely thought it was going to be amusing. For both of you.
Do? It's a Major Crimes Unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
The 41st isn't...
Where have we been? We've been fucking off as far as I remember. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All will burn. Detect or die. Yes, you're sorry. You're the sorriest cop who ever lived. Nothing has changed, Harry. I've heard this repentance shit 1,000,000 times over. The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in.
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isola, pal, and so on.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
Corresponding to the 20-centimeter hole in your brain. Sure. This theory has great symmetry. I see how it folds into itself neatly.
Crabman is an unfortunate choice of words, but I was there. The church on the coast shook from an audiospatial anomaly. Either way, I have put this into my report. You should read it. I do not, however, think it has anything to do with him drinking.
Thank you, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Just to clarify, I do not think his Isodori anthroponics are a hoax. Pale produces global phenomena. It's proven. What has not been proven is total memory loss after drinking too much Komodo Red. Honestly, I think he's just lying to us.
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before. Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case.
So you don't remember not remembering. Beautiful. The two cases in your ledger. The unsolvable case. And those cases were hard on you.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the ruins, the neon, listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it, hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it to end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
No one even mentioned that. I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the body? Or do we need to get him on a disability pension?
They can keep that pension. You're rock solid. You can put your clothes on hard.
Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here. Yeah. Just stand there. No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry? Yes, in the ocean, under the sea. Our work vehicle, with fishing clams and other sea shit. Oh well, if it wasn't you, then it's okay. You only let someone steal a 45,000 real police vehicle, drive it into the sea, and then just left it there. For the record, you pressured us into getting it. It'll be cool, Jean, we'll have wheels, rapid response. I was fine being an equestrian cop. I hope you're fine driving a bicycle. Don't answer that. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge. The thing that tells people you're a police officer.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out of your hand. You juggle the badge for a second.
He found it. He found it, Jean. It's his badge.
And your gun?
As if having your badge and gun are natural state. What is it with all these material objects?
He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone. You were never supposed to lose it in the first place. Not lost is your gun's natural state, you drunk bum. Well, you let the suspect escape, glacier something, because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
We've read the reports. Lieutenant Kitsuhagi's. We know.
Oh, well, if she was specially trained. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect who also escaped. Or the fact that you're Everclear's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. Compared to the 6 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired and vetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at considerable risk to his person. Remember, he was shot. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been. Detective, it's better if I do that.
It's so much better if he does this.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation. You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take? On Lieutenant Yufretop?
Well, the drinking, the lost gun, also losing his badge, that's all true. And he's been drinking on the job.
The man sighs.
Then there's the self-flagellation issue. He likes to apologize, profusely, making it sound like he's guilty of at least first-degree murder. It's not a good communication strategy for an officer. It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socio-economist. He wants to liquidate the ruling class, which, again, for a police officer, is a little odd.
You should yell something. Yes, let's let the big boys talk.
And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, and the drugs, of course. Amphetamine, mostly. But despite all this, he is a great detective. One of the best I have seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him everything. And he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven. Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, I have to disagree with you, Mr. Vicmar, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Okay, he did something.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
A new species?
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid.
He takes out the photo. and shows it to the officers across. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow connected to the case?
Detective? The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is connected.
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it.
Yes, it really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him forget his sadness. Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never.
This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open. In Martinez, where Evrard and Edgar Clare have ears
And eyes, too. Your return from the island must not have gone unnoticed.
Understood, of course.
But a case against Everard would be big.
I would prefer not to partake in anything union-related, for political neutrality.
This has to be good stuff for him to backpedal out of it at first mention.
What was that? It sounded like you set up a nightclub in the church. Get a grip. No one cares about your anthroponetic adventures right now.
4 kids were living in a tent on the ice. They were going to drown when it melted. It's not optimal, but the building was abandoned, so he put them in there.
Yes, yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk.
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry.
Still, good work with the missing person, detective.
I don't know what a doomed commercial area is. Why? That's not what you were supposed to do here.
There was a possible witness in there, and it was close to the crime scene. He was just chasing a lead and ended up advising a local shopkeeper.
Of course. Call it community outreach, right?
Dodged the bullet there. For a moment it seemed like you were just wasting time.
Female?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female.
Incredible.
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers?
Bowers are built by males of the species who can't afford colorful mating displays physically. This one was plain colored.
Of course, as I said, I'm only guessing. I didn't see it. It must be robust if it can move a whole...
It could maybe roll it, like a dung beetle.
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so? Then it wouldn't matter if it's male or female.
That makes sense, yes.
Very interesting. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease.
In his mind, he's already planning a nature reserve and knows a good guy for that.
Yes. That would be a Chiromo.
Nothing is off the table. But I want to stress this. The find does not have to be connected to the case.
Of course, Lieutenant. Of course. We should treat the case and the phasmid as completely separate from each other.
They're not going to go for this speculation in the constabulary.
Yes, but also red-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much.
This would really help with some of the problems we've been having.
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest.
Without it,
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym. The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, this man's mother was Lillian.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
He wasn't quite sure about the straggler before he heard this detail. It must have convinced him.
Jealousy. I thought this Lilianovich was an old man, to have been hiding for 50 years.
A strange psychosexual fixation, aggravated possibly by proximity to the phasmid and its chemicals. He himself gave a political reason. Also, we have a sniper's nest with full view of the room in which the mercenary died. Right on.
It's a clean win.
Oh, it's way more than that.
Perfect faulting mechanism. Get over yourself, Harry.
God damn it. It is bad. Even you can smell it. Chin up. Keep focusing on the positives here.
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder. So I have to. Jude.
Honestly, anything that ends this trial is okay with me.
Agreed. The public...
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
The man looks westward, impatiently, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry. Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore.
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair, some of your more old-school wording choices.
The incredible stamina output. Also, this guy, and this guy too. God, even this javelin-throwing freak here.
In your 20s or late 20s, you've really let yourself go since then. Yes, you towed Jim in Gorn. But
the smell of sweat and Kuro is just east of Jamro.
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Assel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
His smirk suggests barely contained laughter.
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over.
You really went with it too.
Dora something. Dora Ingerlund. Yeah.
Not Dora Dubois.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol. God, I don't know. 6 years ago?
6 years and you haven't gotten over it. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah. Or 7. You're not doing too good there. Incredibly bangable. She was incredibly fuckable. A beautiful bourgeois woman.
Snow Welkin. Blonde Payne Welkin.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was.
Look, the sun is about to go down.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit, not a psychologist.
In other words, he's heard enough about...
No. You're too unstable to work for my boss. You're suicidal, Harry.
I assure you. I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit.
He would immediately backpedal out of it. I told you it's not that bad.
Us? Well, the bloody murder station, haven't you heard?
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big.
Get back to it. We left Torson and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's Mac the Torso Torson and Chester McLean.
They are damn iconic though.
Yeah, not like us. God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only...
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force.
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory, they speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets.
So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a raid on some churches.
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear.
Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information.
Your clearance will not go up while you're within earshot of the Union headquarters.
Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with...
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivershoal.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you.
Thank you again, Lieutenant. Who is Lena?
She lives at 1113 Tabernacle Road in Jamrock.
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live on Perdition.
Fine, if we're gonna drop you off anyway.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change.
Watch out or she'll faint.
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain. Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM.
Distant traffic. A scrap of newspaper drifts by, carried by the wind.
Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of 2 captains with my doom-mongering. Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
Would fit in. And crazy enough. Can take the stress. This truly came as a surprise to him.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
I do like the sound of that.
He's really considering it.
Good.
Fuck it, let's go. Trump brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Under the afternoon sky, the great district hums. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls, and chimney stacks. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. Torson? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicmere? Yes. Dubois? Of course. Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Ptolemy Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in his office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the people. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minnow? Of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?